God. Ask God. Hi, Scott. I just want to say thank you for your podcast. They are great. I'm kind of new to the group, but I'm marathoning through your podcast and they are awesome. So thank you so much for what you're doing. My question is on importing. I got my first sample and we love it and everything looks great and we're ready to rock and get our first our first shipment of a couple of hundred units. And I live in Atlanta. And my supplier in China keeps saying that they will ship to the Atlanta port. They will ship to the Atlanta port. And so, the Atlanta is not on the ocean, but yet they're going to be shipped by boat. And I'm just wondering how that part works. I did ask my supplier what Atlanta port, what organization. And he replied, "Is this your first time buying something from China?" And so I think, at that point, it came pretty obvious. I was kind of green on this subject. So I just wanted to know if you could talk a little bit about, how do we link up with whatever service is shipping our products over here to get them? And then, because I did want them to ship straight to me and not Amazon for that first shipment for quality control and to check them out before we forward them on to Amazon. But just wondering if you could talk a little bit about how that process works.
Hey, Mike, thanks so much for the question. And again, you probably wonder how I knew your name when you didn't tell me your name. Well, you did in an email. But guys, if you guys are going to ask a question, do me a favor, leave your name, okay? And that way I can address you. I got to look at the email, obviously. I know, a little lazy, right? Just leave your name. I'd like to be able to address you, accordingly. All right. So, Mike, thanks for the question and congratulations on getting started and taking action. That is the first step. You guys all know that. Okay. Now, on the shipping thing, you guys probably know that I'm not that familiar with using, sea transportation, using the boat method, right? I don't right now do that. I have friends that do. Some have been successful with it. Some, it's been a nightmare. So if you are going the boat route, which it sounds like you are, Mike, my question at first would have been, could it have been air shipped at a reasonable rate to get you started, especially if it's only 100 or 200 units? Okay, that would have been my first question. If it can't, then you would be probably better off just to go and hire a freight forwarder. Okay, now I don't have any that I recommend right now. I will reach out to someone that has recently started doing this. He's got some pretty good connections. I will leave the link in the show notes here. Okay, so as soon as I get done with this episode, I'll call out to him. I'll get that link and I'll include it in the show notes. So if you wanted to check out the freight forwarding service that he uses or that he's used and has had good luck with. But that's what you're going to need to do. You're going to have a freight forwarder do it. Now, you don't have to. It's just going to simplify the process because they're going to handle everything throughout that process. All right. And then that way there, you don't have to worry about picking it up from the port, getting it transported, all customs, all of that stuff. It's a whole nother ball game. And that's what I mean when I tell people when you're starting, especially in the beginning, you want to, reduce the amount of obstacles to go through. Okay. Now, some could say, yeah, but if I do that, then, or if I do it this way, then I'm going to also be not with everyone else that's doing air. So it's going to be harder. So it's going to be less competition. Maybe so, maybe not. I don't know. But in the beginning, I just think to get your feet wet, it's just one less thing you have to worry about. But I will look into that. But from everyone that I've talked to about this, they're always using pretty much a freight forwarder, and they handle everything from getting it from China to the boat, to off the boat, to Amazon or to your location or wherever the next place is. If you're using DHL Air, they're going to take care of everything. They're going to get the product from China. They're going to deliver it to wherever you want, and they're going to handle the customs papers. You're just going to pay the fees for customs and all of that. So that is my limited experience with using sea as transportation. But like I said, I am connected with some people that are doing that, and I have pretty close connections with them. I will reach out to him and I will get that freight forwarder for you. We'll link it up inside of the show notes for you. Sorry, I couldn't be of more help other than to advise in the future if you have any way of getting around this and either using a freight forwarder or using air if at all possible, at least in the beginning. Guys, listen, if you're starting out and you're using air right now and it costs you an extra $1 per unit, it's okay in the beginning as long as you know that in the future you can reduce that cost, but you're going to speed up the time that it's going to be to get that product as well. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're not doing air and they're still saying they're going to deliver it to a port. I don't know why they would do that. But if they did, again, that would be where you would want to get that connection to be, listen, Mr. Supplier, I want to get my product from DHL, from your place, DHL, I want them to deliver it door to door. Okay. Door to door, not to a port. Okay. And that's what I would be. And then the other comment you said where they say, well, oh, is this your first time? You could just say, it's my first time using your company and it's my first time using sea. We do not normally, travel by boat. We usually do air. So that's how I would address that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I can say on that. I'm sorry it wasn't more helpful. I know we have listeners that have done this as well. And maybe what you want to do is come back to this episode and maybe you guys can help out in the comments or something. That would be kind of useful and helpful. Or reach out to me and, let me know if you have some resources or that you wanted to share and I could, talk about them again on another show, or I could post them in, the comments myself. We can get them out there. Again, this is why I do this too. If it's something that I don't have a lot of experience with, the audience usually does. You guys do. So, reach out to me, reach out to someone in the Facebook page, whatever, and, help each other out, right? That's what it's all about. If you guys want to submit a question, head over to theamazingseller.com/ask, and you can do that. I want to also, again, remind you guys, if you're brand new and this is your first time to the show, I want to welcome you. I love hanging out with you guys. This is just awesome to be able to virtually connect like this. And that's why I love the Ask Scott sessions. But if you are brand new and you're just getting your feet wet and you don't understand the entire process, the entire business model, I would recommend attending one of my live free workshops. This is where I break it down for you in 5 phases: how to pick a market and a product, how to source it, how to do a pre-launch, how to do a launch, how to promote the product, and everything in between. We go over that on a workshop and we go through every single thing. We also do live Q&A. So if you want to attend one of them, I would love to invite you to the next one, and you can register for the next one by heading over to theamazingseller.com/workshop, and you can register there for an upcoming workshop. Well, hey there. Thank you so much for listening to that episode of Ask Scott. Now, that was just a highlight from one of our full episodes where I generally answer 3 to 4 questions on a podcast. If you want to go back and listen to all of the past archives of not just the Ask Scott session, but all of the full episodes where I do interviews with top Amazon sellers, people starting from scratch and building a business, if you want to listen to any of those episodes, head over to theamazingseller.com and you can find all of that over there. You can also find details there on how you can ask your own question and get it aired on an upcoming Ask Scott session and possibly see it here on YouTube or just on the podcast. All right, so definitely head over to theamazingseller.com. There's tons of resources over there for you to be able to build your e-commerce and Amazon business. So definitely go check that out. Now, I just wanted to remind you one thing before I let you go. There's a lot of information out there and some of it is really, really good. What I want you to remember is you have to not just consume the information, you have to actually apply that information. So take this information that you learned here today and apply it to your business. And this way here, you can get results. As my shirt says, I wear it almost daily. Take action. We'll see you guys.